Today, I am calling you to pause, not to make you afraid, but to help you recognize that an important reminder is reaching for your heart at this very moment. My beloved child, do not turn away too quickly when you have just felt a gentle stirring within. For not every encounter is accidental, nor is every word you hear merely a passing sound. Some moments are placed along your journey like a small lamp, not forcing you to follow, but shining brightly enough for you to see where you are standing. Michael, I am here to remind you that you have not been forgotten, and Jesus is still looking toward you with a love that has never changed. You do not need to fear that a single moment of delay will cause the door of love to close, because heavenly love is not a trap designed to test whether you respond quickly enough. Yet I do not want you to keep postponing the moment when you finally listen to the call resounding in the deepest part of your being. Open your heart, my child, for the great thing awaiting you does not necessarily have to arrive through thunder, miraculous signs, or an event that leaves the whole world astonished. Sometimes the greatest moment is simply when you stop running from the truth. Stop pretending that everything is fine, and courageously admit that you are tired, confused, or uncertain of your direction. I know you have passed through many days with a smile upon your face while carrying unanswered questions within. I know you have stood at crossroads where no one understood the struggle taking place inside you. At times, you remained silent because you feared being judged. At other times, you forced yourself to continue because you did not want anyone to see your vulnerability. But today, I have not come to condemn you. I have come to embrace the part of you that has gone far too long without rest, and to remind you that you are still loved. Even when you do not yet fully understand yourself. Perhaps you once believed that heaven had remained silent before your prayers. But that silence did not mean that you had been rejected. Many things were being quietly arranged during the days when you could see no change at all. Like a seed hidden deep within the earth, precious things often need time to take root before they rise into the light. I saw every moment when you believed your efforts were useless. Every night when you wondered whether you were walking along the wrong path. And every time you wanted to surrender because you no longer had the strength to keep waiting. Yet it was in the midst of those dark intervals that maturity was being formed within you. You became deeper and more discerning. You learned to distinguish sincerity from empty promises, to value peace more than applause, and to understand that not every open door is a place you are meant to enter. Therefore, the message I bring you today is not a threat that you will lose me if you turn away. I am not one who easily abandons you simply because you are weak or distracted for a moment. When you wander, I seek you. When you close your heart, I remain patiently near. When you doubt, I do not use fear to force you into faith. Yet, you must understand that whenever you continually ignore the voice of your conscience, you gradually become unfamiliar with the light that is guiding your way. What you may lose is not the love of heaven, but the opportunity to be healed sooner, to release burdens that were never yours to carry, and to enter a new season with a peaceful mind. So pause not because only a few seconds remain, but because you have been running for far too long. I want you to look deeply at the path you are walking. Is there something you are holding onto at the cost of your peace? Is someone continually causing you to question your own worth? Is there a dream you buried because someone once told you that you were not capable enough? Or is there an old mistake still binding you to shame, even though you have wept, repented, and tried to change. My beloved child, your destiny is not destroyed by a single fall. What draws you away from the better path is believing that you are no longer worthy of rising again. Today, I tell you, stop condemning yourself. You cannot move forward while continually returning to embrace the image of who you once were. The past may instruct you, but it must never be allowed to rule you. Jesus is calling your name, not to announce a sentence against you, but to remind you that you belong to love, forgiveness, and hope. When your name is spoken in heaven, it is not a summons that causes the angels to tremble because you might be cast away. It is a declaration that your life still carries an unfinished purpose. I want you to understand that your value is not found in perfection, achievement, or your ability to please everyone. You are precious because you were created to carry light into the places that once caused you pain. The wounds healed within you will become tenderness for others. The days when you felt alone will help you recognize those who need a hand to hold. The failures that once filled you with shame will become wisdom that keeps you from judging too quickly those who have stumbled. Heaven does not fall into turmoil because you scroll past a message, but the entire realm of light rejoices whenever you choose to return to what is true. No hurried decision can purchase grace, and no moment of delay can erase your name from my love. What I desire is that you willingly remain, not because you have been frightened by the thought that the door might close forever, but because you recognize that it is time to stop living under the rule of fear. Come with sincerity. Speak what you have hidden. Allow your tears to fall without shame. I do not need you to appear strong before me, for I know that true strength often begins in the moment when you dare to admit that you need to be supported. Right now, take a deep breath and allow peace to return within you. You are not standing before a judgment that lasts only 10 seconds. You are standing before an invitation to begin again. No one can decide for you, but I will not allow you to walk alone. If you choose to leave what has been draining you, I will strengthen every step you take. If you choose to forgive, I will help you release the burden while preserving the boundaries you need. If you choose to trust again, I will teach you the difference between wise trust and blind confidence that leaves you vulnerable to harm. You do not need to see the entire road. You only need enough courage to take the right step that is directly before you. My beloved child, the extraordinary thing awaiting you near today is an awakening within. The realization that you no longer have to live as someone controlled by the past. That you no longer need to beg for affection from those who only know how to receive without appreciating what they are given. And that you no longer have to make yourself smaller to fit within the limitations of others. I am leading you back to the dignity, courage, and gentleness that were placed within you from the beginning. Remain with this reminder long enough for it to settle deeply, and then carry that peace into every decision you make. I do not abandon you when your steps are slow. Jesus does not turn away when you are confused. We are still here, not counting down the seconds until you are rejected, but patiently waiting for you to open the door of your heart and willingly step out of darkness. Today is not the day you lose the love of heaven. Today is the day you are reminded that you have never been lost from that love. Before you go any deeper into this message, I want you to become still for a moment and honestly listen to what is moving within you. If you recognize that these words are reaching the most hidden part of your heart, and if you know that you are passing through a season in which you are being called to slow down, remain patient and guard yourself against impulsive reactions. Write Amen as an affirmation of faith. This is not something you do so that others will notice you, nor is it an empty ritual. It is a way of reminding your own heart that you have heard and are willing to respond. When you write that word, you are choosing to step out of the position of a distant observer and become someone who actively receives guidance. I do not need a dramatic display of emotion, but I desire your sincere agreement. Because what is received with awareness takes deeper root than what merely passes through the ears and is quickly forgotten. You have been trying to hear my guidance in a world that worships noise, speed, and immediate reactions. In the eyes of many, your decision to pause may appear timid, indecisive, or too weak to defend yourself. But I see something entirely different. I see you fighting not to allow temporary emotion to rule you. I see you holding back your words because you understand that a sentence spoken from pain can create more fractures than clarity. I see you turning away from arguments that produce no peace, even while many things remain within you that you still wish to explain. The world often measures strength by who speaks more loudly, who responds more quickly, and who can silence the other person first. But the strength I am teaching you is not found in winning or losing. True strength is having the power to act and still choosing to wait, because you understand that not every battle requires your intervention. Every day, the world tries to force you into a hurried rhythm. It urges you to answer immediately, prove yourself immediately, speak immediately, and defend your image before anyone has the chance to misunderstand you. It persuades you that if you do not react, you will lose what belongs to you, that if you do not explain yourself, you will be judged, and that if you do not chase after something, it will leave you. But, my beloved child, what is truly meant for you cannot be stolen simply because you choose to protect your peace. What is meant to remain will not leave merely because you refuse to pursue it in panic. I have never built your future upon anxiety, nor do I need you to exhaust yourself protecting what I myself am preserving. The pace of the world may create an appearance of busyness and success, but it also quietly steals clarity, calmness, and your ability to hear the gentle voice within. I know there are days when you feel weary from having to remain constantly available, constantly responsive, and constantly determined to prove that you are fine, even while you smile. There may be an exhaustion that no one else notices, even while you fulfill every responsibility. Something within you may still feel dry because you have gone too long without resting in stillness. Therefore, when I hold you back, it is not meaningless delay. I am not preventing you from moving forward in order to make life difficult. I am slowing your steps so that haste will not lead you into a place where you must pay a heavy price. There is a great difference between being trapped in stagnation and being held within protection. Stagnation makes you lose direction, but my restraint helps you remain steady. Stagnation drains you, but the pause I give quietly restores what you may not even realize you have lost. I have seen you write long messages and then delete them. I know you have held your phone, wanting to send one more message so that the other person would understand that you never meant what they assumed. I know you imagined dozens of conversations, preparing every argument, every answer, and every explanation to prove that you did not deserve to be treated that way. At times, you nearly returned to the very door I had helped you close, simply because you longed for a clear explanation. But in that moment, an unfamiliar calm came over you and pulled your hand away from an impulsive action. You thought it was only exhaustion, but it was I who reminded you that not every misunderstanding requires your correction, and not everyone who leaves needs to be chased so that you can explain your worth. A person who truly sees you through love will not continually force you to prove that you deserve respect. That restraint sometimes caused you to question yourself. You wondered whether you were avoiding the issue, being too gentle, or allowing others to cross your boundaries without accountability. I understand that struggle, because silence is not always easy. Sometimes silence hurts more than speaking, because you must carry so many things that remain unsaid. Yet you must learn to distinguish between silence born from fear and silence born from wisdom. Fear causes you to withdraw because you believe your voice has no value. Wisdom causes you to wait because you know the time is not yet right. Fear makes you abandon your boundaries. Discernment helps you preserve them without creating chaos. I am not teaching you to tolerate wrongdoing. I am teaching you how to confront what is wrong without allowing it to transform you into someone you do not wish to become. There will be times when I ask you to speak. And when that moment comes, your words will no longer carry the bitterness of anger, but the clarity of truth. You will not speak to diminish another person, but to establish what is right. You will not speak to retaliate, but to protect the peace entrusted to you. Yet, before you can speak with authority, you must learn not to speak from your wounds. When pain is still controlling you, you can easily confuse righteousness with cruelty, boundaries with punishment, and self-protection with the desire to wound someone in return. Therefore, this present silence is not evidence that you have lost. It is the place where I am purifying your motives, arranging your thoughts, and making your voice more steady. Remember that not reacting immediately does not mean you are unaware of what is happening. Waiting does not mean you lack understanding. Sometimes you see more clearly than anyone else, yet you choose not to step into the trap of provocation. Some people will try to make you angry so that they can use your reaction as evidence against you. Some will attempt to drag you back into old patterns in which you explained yourself endlessly, begged to be understood, and harmed yourself in order to preserve a relationship. But I am teaching you a new way to live. You do not have to participate in every form of chaos to prove that you are strong. Sometimes walking away from an argument is the clearest declaration that your peace is no longer in the hands of another person. Therefore, my beloved child, do not view this season of slowing down as punishment. See it as a private room where I am restoring your clarity. Allow the noise outside to become quiet long enough for you to recognize what is truly worth keeping, who is truly worthy of walking beside you, and which paths no longer belong to your journey. I do not want you to spend your entire life reacting. I want you to live intentionally, choosing from peace rather than being dragged along by circumstances. When you learn to pause, you will realize that many things that once terrified you do not possess as much power as you imagined. Many doors you once tried to force open were never pathways I intended for you. Many words you wanted to speak will become protection for your future if you allow them to remain unspoken. Today, I remind you that patience under pressure is not weakness. It is evidence of an inner life that has begun to mature. You do not need to hurry before everyone and explain who you are. Let the way you live speak for the things you no longer need to debate. Let your stability answer those who once doubted you. Let the peace in your eyes testify that you are no longer enslaved to approval. I am holding you back, not so that you remain still forever, but so that when you move again, you will no longer walk in panic. You will move with certainty, speak with gentleness, establish boundaries with respect, and leave chaotic places without carrying hatred with you. Trust me in this silence, because there are things you do not need to resolve by yourself. Keep your heart upright, and leave the rest for me to arrange in a way wiser than anything you can presently imagine. You are being called into a place of safety before unseen disturbances begin to reveal themselves. Because my love does not want you to recognize danger only after every door of preparation has closed. Remember that before a great storm, the earth and sky often become strangely quiet. The air may remain gentle, laughter may still be heard, and people may continue their familiar routines as though nothing will change tomorrow. Yet above the reach of your sight, clouds are gathering, the winds are shifting, and moisture is quietly carrying the weight of rain that has not yet fallen. Outward stillness does not always mean that everything is truly peaceful. Therefore, I have not come to frighten you, but to awaken the vigilance you unintentionally allowed to fall asleep during days that seemed ordinary. A wise person does not wait until thunder crashes directly above the roof before seeking shelter. Such a person observes the smaller signs, listens to the changing wind, and prepares while there is still time. In the same way, you do not need to wait until every problem becomes severe before returning to peace, restoring boundaries that have been displaced, or leaving what has been quietly draining your strength. I have warned you through moments of uneasiness, through the feeling that you no longer belong in a certain place, and through the exhaustion that keeps returning no matter how much you try to rest. These signs have not appeared to condemn you. They are like bells ringing before nightfall, helping you recognize that the time has come to light your lamp, close unnecessary doors, and protect the inner dwelling of your heart. You are standing before this reminder not to be bound by fear, but to be given the opportunity to choose more wisely. I do not want you to believe that a single phrase, number, or outward action can determine the entirety of the protection surrounding you. True protection is not purchased through hurried promises, nor does it depend upon proving your faith before the eyes of others. What I seek is a sincere heart that knows how to pause, recognize the truth, and return. When you say that you are ready, let those words become a living decision, ready to release what troubles you, ready to walk away from deception, ready to care for yourself with dignity, and ready to place peace above every demand that leaves you exhausted. I want you to understand that protection does not only mean being spared from great disasters. Sometimes it is the strength not to send a message written in anger. Sometimes it is the clarity to recognize that a relationship has crossed healthy boundaries. At times, protection arrives through a closed door, a delayed plan, or someone choosing to leave your life. You once grieved because you thought I had taken away what you desired. But often that very delay was preserving you from consequences you could not yet see. I do not always explain immediately, because some things become clear only after you have traveled far enough to look back. Therefore, do not rush after words that make you feel you must act immediately out of fear that you will lose your blessing. What comes from the light does not use panic to control you, nor does it threaten abandonment if you fail to perform a certain ritual. My voice may be serious, but it still carries gentleness. It may awaken you, but it does not remove your ability to think, It may urge you forward, but it will not rob you of peace. Learn to distinguish between a warning born from love and pressure created to exploit fear. A word that comes from me will lead you toward clarity, courage, and responsibility. A word that is not pure will usually make you dependent, terrified, and convinced that your safety rests in the hands of another person. I, Michael, do not stand beside you to make you terrified of tomorrow. I stand beside you to remind you that you have the power to choose the light today. The shield I raise around you is not a symbol for you to display proudly. It is a reminder that truth, integrity, and disciplined living are enduring layers of protection. Each time you say no to what weakens your dignity, you build another wall. Each time you choose rest instead of trying to prove your worth, you close an entrance through which exhaustion once entered. Each time you seek help instead of suffering silently, you step more deeply into the place of safety I have prepared. Perhaps you are wondering what kind of storm is being spoken of. It does not necessarily have to be an event that shakes the entire world. For one person, it may be the revelation of truth within a relationship. For another, it may be an unexpected change in work, family, or finance. For you, it may simply be the moment when you can no longer continue living in the same way. When things that once appeared stable begin to shift, do not immediately assume that everything is working against you. Sometimes I allow old coverings to crack so that you no longer have to remain within a place that has become too small. Rain may make you wet, but it also washes away dust. Strong winds may cause dry branches to fall, but they also create room for new growth to receive the light. What matters now is not that you accurately predict every event, date, or hour, but that you prepare your life through wise choices. Address what you have been postponing. Speak what must be said with calmness. Put neglected responsibilities in order. Care for your health, your sleep, and your essential needs. Keep your distance from those who continually make you feel guilty for protecting your boundaries. Reach out to trustworthy people when the burden becomes too heavy to carry alone. I do not want you to confuse faith with the belief that you must endure everything by yourself. Maturity also means knowing when to open your heart and receive support. If you want to declare that you are ready and protected, you do not need to shout for heaven to hear you. A sincere whisper is enough. You may place your hand upon your chest, breathe slowly, and say, I choose peace. I choose clarity. I will not allow fear to control my decisions. Then let your actions confirm those words. Preparation is not found in secret numbers, but in the way you live after receiving a reminder. No hidden code is more powerful than an honest heart, an awakened mind, and feet willing to leave a dangerous path. Do not believe that you must remain until the end of a message before you can receive complete protection. I do not hold your safety as a reward for your attention. I do not threaten to remove blessings merely because you are tired, uncertain, or need time to consider. What I desire is that you do not ignore the deeper voice within that is calling you to live with greater care. Remain with the truth. Not because you are afraid. Persevere in what is good. Not because you have become dependent upon a promise tied to a mysterious hour. True peace does not force you to stare anxiously at the clock. It helps you know that you can remain steady regardless of what tomorrow brings. I know you have passed through seasons that caused you to lose confidence in your own perception. There were times when you noticed a warning sign but convinced yourself that you were thinking too much. There were times when you knew something was wrong but continued to endure because you were afraid of disappointing others. I do not condemn you. I only want you, beginning today, to learn to respect the calm voice within. Discernment does not mean living in suspicion of everyone. It means observing without panic, loving without becoming blind, forgiving while maintaining boundaries, and hoping without handing control of your life to empty promises. Therefore, my beloved child, receive this moment as an invitation to return, not as a sentence hanging over your head. Correct what has become misaligned. Close the pathways through which darkness repeatedly enters, and strengthen the habits that help you remain steady. When the wind changes direction, you will not have to run in confusion because you will already know where your peace is found. When thunder is heard, you will not become paralyzed because you have trained your heart to trust while remaining watchful. Whatever may be forming behind the clouds, you will not walk through it alone. I will remain near, reminding you to stand upright, see clearly, and move one step at a time with wisdom. You were not created to live beneath the rule of fear. You were called to pass through seasons of change with courage, discernment, and a peace that cannot easily be shaken. Continue walking through this process, even when the changes leave you tired, confused, or unable to understand everything. Because no movement I allow to take place is without meaning. I am not pressuring you to mature overnight, nor am I demanding that you immediately become strong. I am patiently shaping every part within you, healing the places that were wounded, and enlarging your capacity to receive, so that when what you have prayed for is finally placed before you, you will not become overwhelmed, lose your peace, or be exhausted by the very blessing you desired. There are things you once asked for with all your hope, yet I did not place them in your hands at that time, not because I had forgotten your prayers, and certainly not because you were unworthy. I simply knew what you were able to carry in each season. A vessel that has not been strengthened may break when it is filled. A branch that is not yet strong may bend beneath the weight of too much fruit. Because I love you, I do not give too early what could become a burden. I choose first to prepare your shoulders, deepen your wisdom, and teach you how to preserve what is good through gratitude, discernment, and a peaceful inner life. Therefore, do not become excessively afraid when you notice that your body, emotions, or daily rhythm are changing. At times you may need more rest. At times you may become more sensitive to things you once tolerated. There may also be moments when old habits, relationships, or places no longer feel right for you. This does not necessarily mean you are becoming weaker. Often, it is evidence that you are being rearranged so that you can enter a wider space. I am teaching you to listen to yourself, honor your limitations, and choose what nourishes peace instead of continually clinging to what wears you down. Even when those around you do not understand, do not immediately doubt what is happening. This journey unfolds according to your own rhythm and has been shaped to match the calling I placed within you. Others may look at you and see only that you have become quieter, slower, or different. But I see a silent maturity taking root. I see every battle you have not spoken about, every night when you struggled to preserve your faith, and every moment when you chose to treat yourself with gentleness instead of condemnation.